Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. If you would like to join us all here on this channel, then please hit the sub button. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed already. This channel doesn't run without you. Now, last week I reported on the AI scores for Doctor Who, and this week I'm doing a follow up on that. I will also look at Disney and where they might stand, but first I'm going to be talking about the consolidation figures that were released. I didn't make a prediction for what Doctor Who was going to get this year, and I will stand by what I said of this story. Joy to the World or something similar would have been a much better opening for Ncuti Gatwa. So the BARB, which stands for Broadcasters Audience Research Board, is a British organisation that measures the audience TV ratings here in the UK, reported that Doctor Who received 5.9 million views in consolidations. That is the 7-day viewings. In the top five, we have Gavin and Stacey with 19.1 million, Wallace and Gromit with 16.2 million, Call the Midwife with 7.6 million, Outnumbered with 7.4 million, and Call the Midwife with Boxing Day figures with 6.5 million. The only current mainstay we have in the top five is Call the Midwife. The other three are returning TV shows that generally overall are expected to do extremely well because they were all very popular. Could Doctor Who have actually taken more of the share had these three specials not actually come back this year? It's possible, but weirdly, after seeing the last series and having critiqued it as fairly as I possibly could, I can seriously understand why people have switched off. The not so subtle writing the show used to have has disappeared, and it smacks you in the face nowadays. I couldn't even find a defense article from the Radio Times about these consolidation figures. Now, remember that these figures do not actually include Disney Plus figures. Now, before I talk about those, I want to actually bring up the BBC audit that was released. Doctor Who has been named one of the most profitable here, and according to their company's house financial statement for Bad Wolf, their profit at the end of the financial year March 2024 was £10.5 million. I will link their company's house below should you wish to take a look at it. Now, I am sure that a nice cash injection from Disney actually greatly helps, but of those listed on the audit as the most profitable, there are two programs that have outside merchandise and events. Those are Strictly Come Dancing and Doctor Who. Their events and merchandise may very well clock up for the income on them. Strictly, up until recently, had live tours, and they are also putting out plenty of theatre productions throughout the years that they are running. And Doctor Who is always getting something released, quite often updated, and they also attend various conventions as well. This all adds to the income, and then they decide what they are going to use it for. Now, could this mean that they decide that they will continue Bad Wolf and BBC, that is, without Disney's cash injection? It's possible. Produce the show at a lower budget. I did hypothesize that if Disney pull out at the next renewal, then maybe the BBC and Bad Wolf will refuse to continue. However, now I've seen those figures, maybe they won't. It's possible. Now, that's not me backtracking. I actually still think it is time to rest the show and get a whole new team to create it and not the current boys' brigade that we actually get now. What will happen with Disney and their financial input? Well, Disney had to do a deal. The deal was that if they wanted the rights to stream Bluey, then they had to take up Doctor Who as well. This is what the case study in the BBC audit says. So as you can see here, we've got Bluey. It is a production investment. BBC Studios is a co-commissioner of Bluey along with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, and it holds distribution and ancillary rights. Ludo Studios is the production company which owns the IP to Bluey. BBC Studios earns income from Bluey through various routes. It receives a distribution commission and from TV and VOD sales, a percentage of merchandising income and share of net profits for the series. Bluey has been consistently overperforming against BBC Studios' original income targets, and this trend is expected to continue in the future. Case study, co-production Doctor Who. In March 2022, the BBC board agreed plans to transform Doctor Who into a global franchise. In order to help meet the increased production cost required to bring this about, in September 2022, after testing the market, it signed a partner agreement with Disney. Under this, Disney contributes to the cost of making the program and in return taking exclusive rights outside the UK to those episodes made with the help of its contributions. In order to facilitate this deal, the BBC ended early existing distribution deals for Doctor Who with partners in North America, Australia, and New Zealand. So is that global domination something which Jonathan Nathan Turner would have actually loved, and something that is actually akin to the 1996 Doctor Who movie starring Paul McGann that actually did better in the UK instead of the USA, because it was supposed to have been taken on the USA, which is completely ironic. Now, I don't think that the ratings for Disney in this case matter all that much. To them, Doctor Who is access to what they really wanted, which was Bluey. Yes, it may have charted, all but briefly, and we will need to wait for Sakura TV and the Nielsen figures to fully understand how well it actually did in the terms of viewership and ratings. But Bluey truly is the mainstay for them. Now, we don't know if there are new episodes of Bluey airing in 2026. However, the BBC and Disney have announced that there's going to be a 2027 movie, so I guess at this stage it's anyone's guess as to where Doctor Who will go with Disney financially. Or maybe that was the deal. You can have Bluey until 2027 if you fund Doctor Who until 2025. We don't really know what was signed on the contractual paper at the end of the day. In this case, I think the viewing figures for Disney are irrelevant so long as they have Bluey after doing all this digging. And I think the amount of subscriptions they gain for just one story and then lose will just be negligible in this case. However, if they stay in and continue to fund Doctor Who, then I think the writers may need to be encouraged to change tact, because the audience appreciation index figures that I reported as a rumour last week have now been confirmed as true. I dropped a comment on Mr. H's video about the consolidation figures, and he said he would look into it. He did. He emailed Doctor Who TV and he confirmed them as true. I will link his video below for you to go and watch for yourself should you wish to. The Audience Appreciation Index figures are actually the most telling scores for the UK. The BBC gathers audience data as to how well they appreciated the episode and then release the scores according to that. As you can see, Doctor Who TV has updated their website with the scores. These scores are the worst that RTD has ever had. These scores are the worst for the first outing of any new Doctor. These AI scores are telling them that this is not up to par. We shouldn't have to wait until the series finale to get a decent score, or to be quite frank, a semi-decent story. And what they did to Sutek was absolutely disgusting. The ideas and the concepts have been there throughout the series, but nothing has hit the bar in the way that Doctor Who is expected to hit that bar. Millie Gibson said they were addressing controversial issues in the show. Yes, they certainly did it, but the way that it was done was not the way that it really should have been done. Now, you can put messaging well integrated into the story if that's the route that you really would like to go down to, for sure. But doing it in the way of losing viewership or getting mediocre scores isn't that helpful. Work with the majority instead of telling the majority this is what it is, whether you like it or not. That's what it felt like in the last series, and the AI scores are starting to show it. The BBC and Bad Wolf should really knuckle down and listen to those scores, but the problem is they have already made the second series. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't chat about it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bye bye.